Um, they've been. When I see these perps here, I understand. I actually now I have names for people like them. I call them Kayla, and it's not just to mock some unfortunate thing that has happened, but perps like that are supposed to gaslight you. I call them Kaylas because Kayla, unfortunately, is a child that died, and because she was killed by somebody called Steve Marlowe, who claimed to be a targeted individual. And he wrote a manifesto, pre-recorded, and then pre-recorded video, and then in the video said that he's going to execute who he believe are participant in what's happening to him. He's saying that he's being attacked psychologically and mentally. And he ended up killing two set of neighbors. One was a family of a 15-year-old and a 41-year-old mother. The other was an 82-year-old man and his wife, who was 78. Or vice versa, I'm not sure. I gotta double check that. He killed him in such a cold-blooded way, which the reason why he did that is not because he's a cold-hearted killer. A cold-blooded killer. That just because he really believed they were participants in what was happening to him. And he did that with ease, even though he's not a killer. For me, I'm in some similar circumstances, but I'm not going to do, obviously, what Steve Marlowe did. But I understand that this is where some target individuals have taken things. A lot of these participants don't understand what they're doing. First of all, this participant think that you will identify with these manipulations. You will not recognize it as a manipulation because it's happening to you via this technology where they are rewiring your brain and manipulating your brain, manipulating memories, then implanting thoughts. They believe that they have somehow can recreate reality. It's like they're gaslighting you, but with the aiding the manipulation of your mind. Because I'm a target individual dealing with V2K and synthetic telepathy. And so they want you to identify the manipulation. A lot of them are disconnected, this participant are disconnected from reality, and they live with how your brain can be manipulated. And they think they behave a certain way, you're going to be subscribing to that. With me, the videos I've made showing these clowns over and over and over has provoked them that one, I'm never going to internalize the manipulations from the current experiences you force me to have in real time. The memory manipulation or how you implant memories with changing with the narrative, it will never subscribe to it. I understand their goal is to make me subscribe to this manipulation and not see them for the trash involved in this program that does things to men, women, and children. The government is running this program. They utilize people like that. They can utilize in whatever ways. Some of these trash, they're so disconnected with reality that they could put themselves in circumstances where they get killed in a reality that's falsified, which they aid the falsification of this reality. But they think they can gaslight you to internalize this false reality. They really have no limits. Not too long ago, some clown living next door that I haven't seen since, but I wish I can see her again. She came in. I remember I get out of the apartment, and I think I do have I give the perception of just somebody who just, a pushover. Like I'll let things go. It's not true. I'm definitely the opposite of that. But I don't present myself as that. I'm friendly. I try to be polite. I'm soft-spoken. So they get this believe that, oh, it's gonna let things flow that way, which in truth is, oh my gosh, it's not gonna go that way. It's not. And I'm not an aggressive person. I'm not, but I understand this is a circumstance where you gotta do things differently. And I've never been somebody who just let things go. I'll put that in their faces even more. So this clown, as I get out of the apartment, she comes out of her apartment and she comes with all the attitude that they harness when they create this fantasy. Because what's happening is your brain is being manipulated. Then they have these clowns to try to gaslight you, to internalize this manipulation. And so they think that it's boxed in, it's locked in like that. When in reality, every day I know they're going to change my real-time experiences. You're going to have experiences of all discussing level. And then you're going to do a lot of memory manipulation. And then you're going to implant narrative in the memories. And then you're going to make me think this is happening like that. And they still think that I don't know that this program is meant to rewire, manipulate, and destroy the target image of life. But for purpose of developing this technology, this is not a program that protects children and women. They want me to think in the most retarded state of ways. And guess who gaslights you? Some of the most non-credible individual you can imagine. Some childlike fucking clown like this. They want you to think like a freaking retard. And I think, going back to how I present myself, they think that, oh, he's going to believe this. And it's funny when these people are like, yeah, you're an idiot. It's like, I guess I'm now a genius. I don't know if they think by calling me an idiot, I'll be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I'm such an idiot. You are doing what you're saying. You're just protecting children all around the world. Maybe that's what you do. That's what this whole thing is about. Fucking retard fuck. That's what they construct geniuses like that, right? When I make videos, I say, thank you, God. I could have been a clown like them. Oh my gosh. I love, and the way they make themselves talk, like, yeah, you're just an idiot. You try to say Roy Moore. Fucking retard. And it's okay. For me, I'm like, do this. I'll be happy to blast the reality of what you're part in your face. You know how much joy it gives me? When I listen out loud, a man writing a whole manifesto about what's happening to him, and then he kills a 15... Not the fact that he kills a 15-year-old and a 41-year-old, but how obvious what this is about. It's like, come on, I'm too much of an idiot, right? It's a different thing, right? The next door neighbors and all, right? Then they send the clowns like that who's like, oh, you're just an idiot. I was like, I guess that's why they have geniuses like you. Gosh, what in common do they have here? What's the... And then you see some retard coming out of the apartments. She came with all the energy. Listen, the first thing, and I'm glad they utilize these clowns. They make it easy for me to see what this is. Because the truth is, they've made me feel like a genius, when the truth is, they just dumb themselves to that way. They simulate that retardation. They simulate the stupidity. It's part of trying to gaslight me. But it's like they gaslight me like I'm a kid. Like you can gaslight me and be like, oh my gosh, this person who's a fucking clown, who's like barely an adult. Trash. So this clown comes out with the same attitude. And they have like these emotions. And I'm like, okay, come in. She goes in the elevator with me. I start listening to the testimonials of all the target individuals all around the world, talking about what's happening to them, the women, the children being tortured. She gets nervous because, doing this gaslighting from afar, remotely, is one thing. To do it in front of you, when you listen to it, it's like, you see how much of a genius you gotta be? To hear, like, oh, you guys are protectors of children. Yeah, okay. Clown ass. In my mind, they can do all kind of stupid. They can implant the idiocy of thought process. And these special smart people, they just connect with how my brain can be rearranged, manipulated, inclusive memories and thoughts. Matter of fact, some of the things they say is like, oh, we got you. Because I deal with V2K, synthetic telepathy, right? So they interact with me via voice to calls like, we got you. We boxed in these thoughts. I'm like, I'm being, well, you didn't get me. You got my brain. So you can manipulate my brain. Listen, this is about memory manipulation. They start doing this thing in my brain. They manipulate so many of my memories. Before I get to what they just changed, and they're doing it in this disturbing way too, but they were making me think of, okay, I know what I'm going to say is going to sound so stupid, but this is what I deal with. But people like that. They were making me think of schoolgirl uniform, like Catholic girls, you know. And in the Catholic school uniform, try to make me think, oh, you know, like a Dove Star, or, you know, like how they, you know, dress in schoolgirls, and they're like, yeah, I've been the bastard, and something like that. And tell me you've watched adult content where, and then make me think of this memory they've manipulated a while ago, making me think of me going out of my apartment, and there was this teenager in uniform, and as I'm walking, I'm seeing she's pretending to look at her phone. She's pretending to like she was scared. I'm like, what is wrong with this? And she wasn't even scared. She was wanting me to see that she was scared. She was acting scared, but clearly, and she was like looking at her phone, just like in front. It's like, I'm like, what the F? It's like she wanted to be seen. But she wanted to be seen looking like she was scared. She was not like, oh, scared. I'm like, oh, no. She was scared. Oh. And they try to change my memories of perceiving this kid in different ways. And so they change my memories. But they're like, oh no, but this is now false memory because you watch adult contents, adult stars dressed in schoolgirl uniform before. Proof. To make me subscribe to this uniform. And they use these clowns. He's like, now we mapped it. The reason why I call them Kaylas is because their job is to agitate you into internalize this manipulation. You hear the sirens and all that. This is the ecosystem that's around you. Clearly, this is a governmental program. Clowns like that are not here researching. They're just trying to, it's like a brainwashing ecosystem. That's all there to try to gaslight you into internalizing this, inclusive of the noise campaign that you're hearing. You see how it's going together? And I'm glad they're doing that in real time, because it goes well with what I'm saying. Then they go into another memory manipulation that this is what I'm making here. I remember July 4th, 2018. An interesting year, by the way, because something was not introduced, but they found out something about the Department of Defense around that year, or during that year, I should say. But listen to this. I remember I was dating somebody at the time. I'm in her hometown, and it's like a parade. I remember just going there, and then I noticed this like some very young teenager dressed really inappropriate for the age. And I'm looking, I'm like, this is what kids dress like nowadays? They were like crap t-shirt, but they clearly look like kids, by the way, huh? There's no confusion here. But dressed like inappropriate, short, I was like, ooh. It's like, this is weird. At that time, I was like, wow, it's like weird. The kids dress like that nowadays. Like, I'm shocked that kids like that dress in this way and their parents are okay with that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what kids dress like. That's what, in my mind, I'm looking at it as like, kids nowadays dress like that. And it's funny because somebody else said the same thing after that. It's like, man, you see some of these kids how they dress like? I'm like, yeah, right, it's weird. Now, what they trying to change in my brain It's like, no, it was a test. They saw how you saw this kid. And they try to make me subscribe to that. By the way, every time they make me subscribe to a false memory, like, yeah, yeah. It went from the uniform to now this. It's like, no, it was a test. I'm going to bring up who's testing me, by the way. Huh? I'm going to bring up who they want me to think that the examiners. And I love to put that in their faces because the people who know me are very interesting. And they still think they're good, right? And they try to make me imagine. They saw how you saw her. It's like, and they give me a memory of getting some like sexual perception in the sense of like me being like, oh my gosh, yeah, nice, interested. I'm like, oh God. And it's not even like, if there was a teenager that you don't even know if they're adult or not. No, I mean like clearly kids. Like body of a child, looking like a child, but dressed like it's extremely inappropriate. So now they're changing they're giving me, they tell me, they don't want me to say changing stimulation. They give me stimulation, changing perceptions. And you heard a little bit of ventriloquism, trying to make me say something else. Give me perception like they have curves they didn't have. Typical things. And be like, no, they were testing. No. That was not seen. But you're implanting that. Or that was an experience. You're just implanting that. But I know who I'm talking to. These perps are there to try to gaslight you, to internalize this current manipulation. And the thing is, this program is not here to protect children, okay? The ironic thing here, the magical thing here, the majestic thing about this whole thing is who put me in this program was donating money to a man called Roy Moore just last year, in 2017, after the allegation that he was dating or was with kids as young as this little kids dressed like that. Which is amazing. Because this trash are still being like, oh, they're examining you trashers. Not only the people who put me in this program had this disgusting thing where they donated money to this man after this allegation. By the way, Roy Moore, you should know that I'll bring that up a lot because I put that in their faces. Like, oh, yeah, these people examining me, huh? Clown. But the entities developing this technology, this is a program led by the government. The government tied to the DOD. In 2018, that's when the study came out saying that the child protective entity, the Child Protective Agency, specializing in child porn, recognized and ranked after their research and the studies that the DoD computers were being ranked top tier in regard of child porn trafficking in the United States. They were trafficking some of the most child porn on their government computers. This is amazing. These same fuckers want me to subscribe to these false memories because they're slamming on the door. This same program that's out here killing children and women, they want me to think that they're doing this examination. Go trash us. This is the same year Mariana was talking about how she saw a 4-year-old being sexually tortured in this program. That's the same year her testimonial came out. She's talking about a 3-year-old being sexually tortured when a 7-year-old was being, which they tried to manipulate my brain into something. I gasped. This delusional clowns, and they want me to subscribe to these false memories. No, you falsify this memory. Once again, just like this uniform kid. And there's going to be some more stuff. To this trash who thinks they can gaslight me into internalizing these false memories, bring your damnness here. Today, I know I'm never going to be myself. Since August 19, 2019, my mind hasn't been mine. It's been manipulated in the way they want me to experience. I guess now they can make me experience what they wish I experienced. In real time and in my memories. And then they use these clowns around me who's supposed to gaslight me to internalizing this. This is a program that's destroying the life of many, inclusive of children. Okay? And to the trash around here, they utilize a lot of children involved in this. This little trash thing, the fake radicalness, will make somebody subscribe to that. I know who I am and I know what you want me to be. And I know that you will never make me subscribe to that. This low life who came and said, Roy Moore, working for a program that torture women and children. The governmental entities developing this program. Developing this technology, the researchers behind this, the developers and the advancers of this technology are top tier pedophiles. Filled with top tier pedophilia issues. Well, in my brain, every day they turn me into a freaking mental retard. And they have this teenage shit that tell me they're going to frame me. Can you imagine the people who's telling you they're going to frame you with children? Want you to believe these memories to not be fake. As they tell you in real time, we're going to have children play rape victim. And they expect you to be a nice person, as they know you're a polite person. And don't crash out like this man who wrote a whole manifesto in 2020 to say this is a program that's global. He's saying the neighbors are participating just like me. He's saying his co-workers are participating just like me. Who say he's being attacked psychologically just like me. But hey, this is a different thing. Oh, the people who donate money to a man called Roy Moore program where trash us. I will never subscribe to this manipulation and to these little clowns, to the little Kaylas here. Please, if you want me to kill myself, you understand how I'm going to do it. And as I'm hearing these teenagers and childlike individual who just wants me into accepting this manipulation, they're like, yeah, no, kill yourself. They're utilizing V2K to interact with me. And they have this tonality, right, where I'm supposed to think because they talk like that, they're just exposing me. And they're just very childish. They're making me think of, yeah, no, but you attract. Making me think of who I followed in 2014, thinking she was an adult. And because of that, I should be subscribing to this false memory. When they try to make me, I have this false memory of this clear child that don't even look like a high school kid. Just like that. To try to think that, oh no, I was so interested in her. And so they use this trash who try to gaslight me to accept this false memory because of that. Now, it's clear for me what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to attack my mind and make me subscribe to this manipulation. For me, it's clear. Steve Malone said that's the self-defense, what he did. He's right in a sense, but there's nothing we can do about it. This defense program makes target major be defenses. These defense agencies, these defense entities, this Department of Defense, I should say, those who are ranked top tier for child porn trafficker, is the most powerful entity in the world. The DOD, yes, the same DOD ranked as top tier child porn trafficker in 2018. Hence, it's behind this program, not this little trash that you see there. Those are nothings. Those are the Kaylas. And if you don't know who Kayla is, unfortunately, she's the 15-year-old that ended up getting killed. He wrote a whole manifesto before that happened. He pre-recorded a video. So that means that they were watching him prepping to kill a 15-year-old, and they let that happen. That means that these trash a casualty if they corralled when they are okay with you killing that, and it doesn't matter as long as they get to the goal. Collateral damage, I think. That's what they are. They will let me attack this. It's just they expect me to not be aggressive like the other target individual. They're supposed to let me think it's like, no, us is fate. We don't do this manipulation. I was like, of course, it's top tier fate, but in fact, top tier, like the top tier ranking they got. Yeah, it's Roy Moore fate. It's amazing. But they use this childlike individual, which, for me, I have accepted. In any other circumstances, crashing out will never be in the plans here. But this is not a regular situation. This is some nothings who finding value in rewiring somebody else, changing them, and then try to think that their fake radicalness of behaviors will make somebody subscribe to that. I promise on the soul of all who suffered, from the children to the women to the people who end up killing when they don't want it to kill, I'll do the right thing and not the false memory. And to these clowns, you're so convincing.